What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Devin. I hope that you will consider sticking around and subscribing. And if you're not new, as always, welcome back. You know I love you. So for today's video, I literally just want to sit and chat with you guys and just do a full face of makeup. I feel like I very rarely in my videos, at least recently, like just sit and do a full face of makeup. I'm usually doing the eyes or like focusing on a certain palette or whatever. So I want to start incorporating this type of video into my channel a little bit more. And I don't know, I have a lot of makeup, I have a lot of palettes. I just kind of want to go through and use them and talk about the products that I like and don't like and all of that kind of thing. So this is just going to be a very, I don't know what I'm gonna call this video yet, but let's just call it a chatty get ready with me style video. I am going to be using the Revolution X Rachel Leary palette today. This is not a new palette, but it is new to me. Ulta recently had a sale on all of the like Revolution influencer collab palettes, and a lot of them I had my eye on, but had never tried or like bit the bullet and purchased, so I figured I could get some while they were on sale. So this is one of my like quarantine boredom purchases, if we're being completely honest, but I do really like this palette. I think it's beautiful. Got a lot of like fun shades and a lot of cool pops of color, so I definitely want to do a couple videos with this. So this is going to be the main inspo for today's video. I am going to crack a seltzer while we're doing this as well. So if you want to grab yourself a seltzer, a beer, a glass of wine, whatever, let's just hang out and do some makeup. All right? Let's get started. Cheers. Okay, so I'm gonna start by just putting on a little bit of lip balm to let that absorb while I do the rest of my makeup. So this is the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. This is in the flavor Grapefruit. I really love this. I think I got this for Christmas. I really like Laneige in general. Like when I think of their products, I just think of like healthy, hydrated, like juicy lips, juicy skin, all that stuff. So anyway, this is really good. Okay, next I'm gonna prime my eyes. This is my e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. This is in the color Rose. Honestly, I like this primer. I just don't like the color that I got, but I feel like I still need to use this. It's just, I don't know, it like comes out kind of gray. So it's not terrible, and I do like it. I like the consistency. It's like a little bit thicker than the Urban Decay Primer Potion, which is what I usually use. And I'm not usually one for like really, I just don't, not that I don't like them, but I just don't usually use thick eye primers. I feel like just because I've always used Primer Potion, but I like this. But I think for me personally, they have another one. They have like a lighter one. I think it's called like Cream or something, and I've looked at it at Ulta and it just like looks like it would be a little bit more skin tone for me, but now that I'm using this again, it's not terrible. And this definitely does feel like a MAC paint pot type of deal. Okay, so even though I just got done saying that there's lots of like really pretty pops of color in this palette that I like, I think what I'm in the mood for today is like a really glam halo eye, like a really nice like deep smoky halo eye. So I think that's what I'm gonna go for. So I'm thinking like some of these browns, maybe this color here, it's called Cash, and it's like an olivey green type of deal. So let's do that. So let's start off with Pina Colada here to set the primer down. I actually don't feel like I really need to even set this primer, but just out of habit, that is what we're gonna do. Babe, is it weird to listen to me in here talking to myself?
No, I can't really even hear you.
Oh, okay, good. So I can talk about you and you won't even know?
Oh.
All right, and we are gonna start building the halo now. So I'm gonna take this shade right here on a pencil brush. This guy is from the Beauty Crop, which is an indie brand that I recently discovered because I did a small little collab with them over on their YouTube channel. But anyway, just any pencil brush, and this is the shade 70%. So we're just gonna start building the halo. So I'm starting here in the inner corner. I'm gonna pack that on. All right, so I'm focusing that. I want it to be the deepest at the inner corner, but I also am kind of feathering it out towards the middle. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the outer corner. Also, I'm sure you guys have noticed I'm in a different background. So I'm actually at Sean's apartment. We have been quarantining together for pretty much the entirety, which has been about 2 months at this point, of this like lockdown. We live in Philly, so for as long as we've had the shelter in place here in Pennsylvania, we have been quarantining together. So anyway, I don't want to bring that up because I know like a lot of people watch YouTube videos to kind of escape from it, but just my current situation right now is that I've been staying with Sean a lot more. He lives about 10 minutes away from my apartment, so we're very close, and I have been going back and forth between our 2 apartments, but he's got his own place, so I've been spending a lot of time here with him. We also have a 13-week-old puppy. Her name is Napa, and we got her at 8 weeks, so it's been a little over a month right now that we've had her, and she keeps us busy, so I like to be here to help him take care of her and just hang out. So I finally brought my filming equipment over here with a bunch of makeup, and I figured I'd try out filming here, so here I am. Anyway, that's why I'm in a different background. I'm not in my apartment or my room right now, but that is a-okay. All right, so as you can see, I am blending here, just kind of connecting the 2 in the crease and starting to really smoke that out. And because this is a halo eye, I want to focus on keeping the shape really rounded this way and not going too far out in the corner. And I do want this to be pretty smoky, so I'm not holding back with how I'm connecting this in the top, in the crease. I really want that to be intense. All right, so next I'm gonna go in with the shade right here. It's called Drippin', and this is gonna be kind of like our spotlight color right in the middle. I'm gonna try to take the shimmer just slightly up into the crease so you can still kind of see it when my eye is open. Okay, and then I'm using that same brush. I'm just gonna wipe it off on a paper towel, and then I'm gonna go into Cash, bring a little bit of like a green into this. And I'm gonna use that to blend the edges of Drippin', just to give it a little extra dimension and to also make sure that the shimmer and the matte blends together. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go back in with that pencil brush and that shade 70% and just make sure that we still have a nice deep inner and outer corner. Have you guys tried these Corona seltzers yet? They're pretty good. Although I do think that the Bud Light seltzers are better, and I was just discussing with Sean. So he got me the variety pack to try because I hadn't tried these before this weekend, and they literally have like a black cherry lime and then a lime flavor and a cherry flavor. And I'm like, to me, like that doesn't make any sense. Like, how are you gonna have a lime, a cherry, and then a lime and cherry together? Like, I just feel like if it's gonna be a variety pack, that's not really that much variety. You know what I mean? What are your guys' favorite seltzers? Let me know. White Claw will always be like my go-to, but I also really liked the spike seltzers, and I really, really like the Bud Light. Like, I would probably put Bud Light and the Bud Light seltzers and the White Claw seltzers up at the top together, and then like spike seltzers, maybe the Corona seltzers. But I will tell you, I hate Trulies. I don't know what it is. I don't think they have good flavors. I don't like the way they taste. They just like, ugh, every time I try to drink one, I'm like, I can't finish this. Like, I don't like their flavors at all. But anyway, that's just my opinion on nothing that has to do with makeup at all. All right, and then I'm actually gonna come over here to the bigger pans for a second, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is called Blonde, which you can use as like a contour bronzer or an eyeshadow. And I'm gonna take that on a small brush, and I wanna use that to just kind of blend this out a little bit more above the crease. All right, so I've got that top lid, I think, to where I want it to be. So we are gonna leave the eyes alone for a second, move on to face, and then come back to the eyes at the end. So I am going to prime my face with the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. This smells like watermelon. I think it came out around this time last year, or like in the summer. I feel like it was definitely a summer product. They had like a whole jelly collection. I'm actually not sure if you can still get this, but I like it. It's pretty sticky, but if you can get past that, it definitely does. I do feel like it grips my foundation onto my face. And I just like, in primers, I don't really like the silicone-y ones that like kind of like ball up and stuff like that. I'm much more of like a juicy, hydrating, like maybe a little bit tacky primer. Like the Milk Hydro Grip I have, and I like that. I always love the Too Faced Hangover Primer. Primers like that. So I feel like this one definitely falls into that kind of category, and I do like it. So if you can't get it anymore, if they did discontinue it, then I'm a little sad about that, because I really do like this, and I feel like this is something that would sell really well if they kept it. But what do I know? I'm not a brand owner. I'm just a makeup lover. So whatever. For a foundation today, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Dewy Primer. So I have like a tan shade here and then a pale shade. I did self-tan last night, but I was at the very end of the bottle and it like didn't really do a ton. So I might have to mix like a little bit of this in with this, but we'll see how it goes. So this is the shade Desert Beige, which is pretty tan for me. And then this is the shade Soft Ivory, which I feel like would be pretty close to my natural skin tone without a tan. So we'll see. So I'm just gonna swatch. I think, I don't know, I might be able to get away with this. I think maybe just a little bit of that lighter shade mixed in though. So I think I'm just gonna do one of these. I might like thoroughly regret this, but we'll see. So I just took that tan shade and then I'm literally just gonna kind of like swipe this over top. And we're gonna see how this goes. If this doesn't work out, then I'll probably have to do the rest of my face with them mixed, but like on the back of my hand or something, but we'll see. I'm using my Eco Tools blending sponge. This is my favorite. It's $5. Sometimes this goes on sale at Ulta for $2.99 instead of $4.99, and I always like to grab at least one during that time to have on backup, because I really do. I just love everything about this sponge. Okay, yeah, that's looking a little dark. Don't know if you can tell on camera, but it definitely does in person. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix a little bit of this on the back of my hand to do the rest of my face. So just dabbing that on with my finger. I've used this foundation, I don't know, a time or two. And I know when it came out, I feel like it was pretty popular. At least like the people that I watch on YouTube, I feel like liked it. But to be completely honest, I was not a fan of the original Photo Focus foundation from Wet n Wild. It just, my sister loved it, but it just for whatever reason like didn't work for me. And this, like, I don't know, the coverage is okay, but it's not like fantastic by any means. Yeah, I don't know. So jury is still out on this foundation, but I haven't used it enough to really form an opinion on it, so there's also that. But I just know, like, first impressions, I feel like the reason that I haven't gone for it a lot, one is because I haven't been doing my makeup as often because of the state of the world, but two, also, I feel like the first couple of times I used it, I just like wasn't impressed, so I haven't been like excited to use it again. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. I'm going over with a layer of that Soft Ivory shade, one, to try to lighten it up, but then two, to also like try to build up some coverage. And I feel like in the spots where I need it, like I have a couple pimples down here, I feel like in the spots where I need it to build a little bit, it's like not sticking or covering there. I could also just be being really picky. Okay, so we'll see. I mean, the coverage is nice, the finish is okay. I do feel like it still looks like a little bit heavy on my skin. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I'm sorry if the lighting in this video sucks too, you guys. I don't know what's going on. I'm looking at the monitor. I feel like I have my ring light like way all the way up right now, and I still feel like I look a little shadowy, so hopefully this video isn't a complete fail. We'll see at the end. For concealer, I'm gonna take this guy right here. This is the BH Studio Pro Total Coverage Concealer, and this is in the shade 104. And this is another product that I'm not crazy about. I don't know, I just, I thought I really liked this at first, and then I kind of noticed though when I was powdering it down, which I never like don't powder down my concealer, I felt like the powder really bunches up over top of this concealer. So it also is very full coverage, and I have a tendency to like to use a lot of concealer, so I could just be using too much. But this is another thing that I'm like not a gigantic fan of, and you guys are probably like, Devin, why are you doing an entire video of products that you're not a gigantic fan of? You know what? I'm just trying to use what I have. I've got a lot of makeup I need to use up, and truthfully, I really want to focus on like doing that, like doing just that, like actually using up all the makeup that I have. Well, maybe not all of it. I feel like it'll be impossible to ever use up all of my eyeshadow palettes like in their entirety, but like my foundations, my concealers, like that's stuff that I can definitely use up, especially now where I'm not really going anywhere. If it's a product that I don't really love, but like it does the trick for a video or whatever, you guys know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like I have a lot of stuff that I've wanted to try out and I've spent my money on, so even if it's not like a 10 out of 10 for me, I feel like I want to still use it and work with it and see if it works better with some products versus others and all that. Like maybe if I found the right powder to use this concealer with, I would love it, you know? I would definitely say though, don't use this foundation or concealer if you're not going for like a full coverage, full glam look, because even though I was saying that I felt like the foundation wasn't covering everything, it still is pretty like thick on the skin. So keep that in mind. For powder today, I'm gonna be using my Juvia's Place. This is in the shade White Sands. I've definitely used this on my channel several times at this point, but I do really, really like the Juvia's Place complexion products. Like the I Am Magic Concealer and the foundation are also really good, but I do really like this powder. And this is a smaller jar. So it's nice when I'm like putting it in my makeup bag and like bringing a whole bunch of stuff over like to Sean's or any place that I'm going really where I need to pack my makeup. It's just nice to have a smaller powder jar because I have like my Wet n Wild loose powders that are gigantic, you know, that like don't fit as well inside a makeup bag. So I always just kind of bake under my eyes, and I really don't even let it sit that long, but I still kind of do the like motion of it. And I like to do my chin as well because I have a tendency to like put my hand on my chin like this. And then I just grab my fluffy brush for the rest of my face and just kind of like press it in and set everything else down. And this foundation, even though it is a dewy foundation, I will say it does mattify on me with powder as soon as I powder. But that's okay because I always use a setting spray to kind of juice everything back up once we've powdered down. I can't not powder. I will never not powder my face. I just can't imagine doing that. And then I'm going to dust off. I need to find a good like drugstore banana powder. I really like the Too Faced banana powder, the one that like literally looks and smells like the Runts candy. I love it so much, but I need to find like a good affordable one. So if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. Okay, for contour today, I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is the bronze shade that I was using on my eye. Camera cut off again. Starting over. For contour today, I'm gonna use this bronze shade that I was using on my eyes earlier, but this time, I'm gonna use it on my face. Guys, another one of my goals is to practice cream contour. It like kind of scares me, and again, like, I could never just cream contour. I would still definitely have to powder it down, but I feel like I've been seeing more and more people do it lately, and I just don't do it. I literally just never do it because I just think powders are easier to work with, but I want to work on my skill during quarantine and broaden my horizons. So I need to pick up some cream contour sticks, I think. Maybe I'll try the KKW ones. Have you guys tried the KKW ones? Let me know. I'm gonna switch to a fluffier brush, and I'm still taking that shade Blonde, and I'm gonna use that for my forehead. I just like to use a fluffier brush for my forehead so that it's not as intense. That brush that I use for my contour is like pretty dense, which is fine for underneath my cheekbones, but I like this fluffier brush because I can like blend it out and just make it kind of like a softer bronzer on my forehead. Next, I'm going to take that same fluffy brush and I'm gonna go into Bronze Glow. I'm gonna use this kind of as like a contour bronzer topper type deal. I've been doing this recently with this and then with like another highlighter that I got that was too dark, and I actually really like it. I think it looks really pretty. I don't know, it just gives it a little extra something. It like kind of helps you build like a glow underneath your highlight. And I'm all about that. I want to feel like it's summery and glowy, and I'm going to beach bar even though I'm not anytime soon, unfortunately. It's like not too much, like it's not like super obvious, but you can see how it just kind of catches the light a little bit. This is also like a good thing if you want a little bit of glow but you're not necessarily into like a lot of highlighter or not into highlighter at all. You can always try that. For highlight, I'm gonna use one of my go-tos. This is the Maybelline Master Chrome Highlight in Molten Gold, just because there are a couple highlight shades in this palette, but like I'm not really into any of them, you know? Maybe I'll try this Aphrodite shade like mixed with the molten gold one, but yeah, I don't know. That Aphrodite highlight is like straight yellow gold. And I'm not sure if I'm into that. Oh, yeah, that one just does it every time. It's so good. Napa girl, what do you have?
Come say hi to everybody. Who's this? Hi, crazy. Little girl, hi. You looking at yourself? You see yourself over there?
Mwah.
All right, you'll be good.
Okay, then I'm gonna do my little trick. So I'm gonna take my NYX setting spray. This is the Bear With Me. And again, this is a product that's like, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Setting spray is another thing where I just like a good, juicy, like hydrating setting spray. And this one's like, okay, it's not bad, but I just don't get that like, ooh, yes, I love this like feeling when I use it, you know? And then while that's still a little bit of wet, what? While that's still a little bit wet, I'm just getting a little bit of this highlighter on my finger. And I just like to put that kind of like in the center at like the high point of the cheekbone. That'll really catch the light when you like turn your head. And also I like to just use my finger to tap in the highlighter after I've applied it and applied the setting spray just to help it melt in a little bit more. And I think this just helps it look more glowy and less powdery. For blush, I'm gonna use the shade Rosé. I'm not sure if it's rose, I think it's Rosé. It's just a nice, lovely peachy blush. This is like my kind of blush, so I like this. And it's actually pretty pigmented. Wow, that's like very pigmented. I do not need this much. Okay, hold on, let's tone that down a little bit. Okay, moving on to brows, which I like literally never do on camera, but we're gonna try. This is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I feel like it's a cult classic. I have it in the shade Brunette right now because my hair is a little bit lighter. My hair is dark. This one's a little bit too red for me, but right now it works. For brow gel, I've been using this Maybelline, what is this? Brow Fast Sculpt Mascara Gel. Again, don't love it, but it's just what I've been using. So I'm just gonna do one of these. Okay, let's move back to eyes and finish up this eye look. So I'm gonna go back in with that same pencil brush and back into that same 70% shade. And we're gonna smoke out the lower lash line. I forgot to bring an eyeliner over here with me, so I'm a little upset about that. So I would like to put some black eyeliner on the waterline as well, but guess what? I can't, so. All right, and then going back in with Bronze again on my small fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna blend that out just a little bit more. All right, and then to finish this look off, I'm gonna take this shade right here. It's called Glazed, right? Yes, and I'm gonna use that for my brow bone highlight. I don't think I wanna do an inner corner highlight, right? Because it's a halo eye, so I wanna keep like the focus there in the center of the eyelid, but I do still want to highlight underneath my brow bone, so here we go. I can never get this brow to cooperate. Like this brow usually cooperates, this one, never. For mascara today, I'm gonna use the newish ABH Lash Brag mascara. It's actually pretty good. I do like it. My eyelashes need help. I'm gonna try an eyelash serum because even though I wear lashes when I do like full glam, I feel like my eyelashes always just look kind of pitiful when I'm just wearing mascara, and I kind of hate it because I used to have like really nice, thick, long eyelashes, and they're not like terrible now, but they're definitely not what they used to be, and I find it kind of disappointing. For lashes, I'm going to be using my House of Lashes. These are in the style Juliet. I actually already took them out and put glue on them and forgot to mention, but that's what I'm using. All right, home stretch here, kids, before my camera dies again. We're gonna finish up with lips. So I'm gonna take two favorites today. This is my Morphe color stick. I think it's called a color stick or something, because I think they make these and you can technically use them as eyeliners and lip liners, I think. Anyway, this is the shade Love Bite. It's one of my favorite nude lip liners that I have. And I've really been in like a glossy type mood lately. I feel like I've been doing a lot of glossy lips with the looks that I've been doing. So I'm gonna take an old favorite. This is the Fenty Original Gloss Bomb. I think it's, yeah, the Fenty Glow. I actually feel like I went through an entire one of these and then got another one. So this one's a little bit fresh. I don't think I've ever used this on camera because it has always lived in my purse because I wear it so much. So although this is a favorite of mine, I feel like this is like making its debut on my channel right now, which is crazy. I've been using this forever. All right, you guys, so here we are with the finished look. I like it. I feel like this is like a very much a my style type of makeup. I like the halo eye. I really like the smokiness. You guys know I love my earthy toned eyeshadows. So yeah, I really like this. This palette, I mean, this was my first time using this. I really have no complaints. I don't feel like it's the most pigmented or like the best eyeshadows that I've ever used, but it's Makeup Revolution, so it's pretty affordable and the color selection is nice. I definitely want to do a video with some of these brighter colors in here, so I don't know, expect maybe 1 or 2 more videos, tutorials with this palette, but overall I really like it. I like the complexion products like the bronzer and the blush and even the highlight that I use on my brow bone. I don't know that I would use it on my face, but I did like it as a brow bone highlight as well. There's just like a really giant pan for that. So I did like the palette. To be completely honest with you, I'm looking at the way that this foundation has settled on my face. It looks really nice on camera, I think. It looks like nice and smooth. And it did kind of settle to not be super matte, even though I powdered it down. But in person, especially with this bright light in my face right now, I feel like it does look heavy and it's emphasizing my pores and it's like settling into my lines right here. And I feel like it just looks very makeup-y on my face. It doesn't look like skin. So I don't know that I'm a huge fan of this foundation if we're being completely honest, but that's okay. Some people like it, some people don't. That's why we play around. What works for me might not work for you and vice versa. So yeah, I just don't really think I'm a very big fan of that foundation, but that's okay. I wasn't really a big fan of the other Wet n Wild foundation either, as I said, so I guess it's kind of to be expected that I wasn't as much of a fan of this one either, but. So anyway, that is gonna be the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me if you've made it this far in the video. I hope it was fun for you. It was definitely fun for me to film. I like these more like relaxed style videos. I feel like I personally like to watch this type of video where whatever YouTuber I'm watching is just sitting, doing their makeup, chit-chatting, like that kind of thing. I really enjoy those types of videos, so I definitely want to create more. But that being said, they can be really lengthy, so if you've made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so by hitting that subscribe button down below, and you can also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any uploads from me. Hopefully it'll be more often. You can also follow me on Instagram. I am at DevDevGregs over there as well. And with that, I will catch you guys in my next video. Mwah! Love you. Bye.